Do you like video games and do you like kits? Then this could be for you. Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office teardown lab. No tearing down today, we're building up. I have this marvellous kit that came well wrapped in this box from China, and boy oh boy, it's heavy. Ooh, and it's heavy because it comes with a lot of bits, including a laser cut enclosure. So that's always nice. It's nice to have something to, you know, package your gadget when you're done with it. But looking at this, it doesn't seem to have a manual, so that's going to be interesting. We'll play it by ear. It looks like it has the tack switches with the nice dome caps, USB lead for power, standoffs, a big chip hopefully somewhere among all of this. There we go, on the other side. And that's an STC15F2K60S2. So I don't know if that's a clone of a PIC series chip. And then the enclosure. So I'm going to leave the enclosure and the fitting hardware aside because that's always a little nightmare unto itself. Let's get the old soldering iron on. I've got some lead free. Again, you notice I've been going the old lead free recently. I don't particularly like it, but I promised myself I'd give it a go. So first thing is the IC carrier. We can pop that in right away. That is no effort at all. And the screen. I don't think we're going to need instructions on this one. Let's pop that in like that. So all of the flattest components in first is the way I recommend it. So that would be chips, LEDs and resistors. And then normally capacitors, electrolytics a bit later on. Look at that. I wonder that is a red button for something. Must be a reset switch. So I'm just going to get the other screens in place. So we'll do these 4 items at once. So you can tell from the score screen which way round it goes because it's got these decimal points. They normally go on the bottom. And it's got them in the picture the same way round, which is good. And we're going to pop this panel in the right way and see. Oh, I'm a little bit worried about this. I'm not seeing a pronounced keyway. So we might have to play that one by ear. I might just leave that off if you don't mind, because there is one little notch here. And there is the number there, 158, that's the same number. I suspect it could be that way. You know what, let's just go for broke, shall we, and pop them in. If I've got them wrong, I've got them wrong. Let's get that in. In fact, what we'll do is leave them off. We can put them in loosely and then see if we get some illumination. But in the meantime, I'm going to flip these over and solder those. I'm just going to put that bit of foam there to hold the IC socket there down so I can push everything. Now, if you do have one of those big foamy mats, they're quite good. They do sometimes work. If not, you can see here, I'm just going to hold it approximately so. And it's all jiggling around like a nightmare. And I'm just going to solder 1 pin of each thing in, then I can let that rest. You can see, look, pretty much where we want it to be honest. But if you're a bit worried, put some pressure on it, positive pressure, touch that one solder joint you've made and let it cool down, and that should hold it good. Then go to an opposite corner like so, and then what I'm going to do is rinse and repeat. So once you've got the opposites in, can't really go anywhere after that. So we just zoom in. I know you like to see the close-up sometimes. And we'll just touch these now. God, there's a bit of gunk on the end of my solder. That's okay though. Didn't affect anything. If you want to, you can flux them, but this seems to be doing alright without. Most solder you'll buy these days will have some element of flux on them already. In fact, I've not seen a solder in the last 30 years that hasn't, but you tell me if they're available. It'll just be a lump of lead or tin. Oh, that's flowing good. So you can see I've got the soldering iron set quite hot, so I don't have to really spend much time holding it on the components. We've got our LEDs to do. These have a bit of a longer leg, so you've got to get it down. Not a problem though. not a problem at all. That was absolutely fine. And while we're there, get your snippers out, your side cutters, and just go in, chop those legs away. And if you want to, hit them with a brush, or just chuck them somewhere, so you don't have to worry about them later short-circuiting something out. So this is a rather nice... Oh, hang on. I was going to say, this is a rather nice USB. It's actually, even the wire is a USB to USB, so interesting. They're using what we'd assume to be a power out as a power in, but I'm not complaining. It's a very easy socket to fit, this one. If you've ever fit any surface mount USBs, you'll know the nightmare that they are, so I'm quite happy about that one. It just locks straight into place. Again, we'll hit that right away so it can't escape. Hit that there. So that's the power. They haven't hooked up the data pins on this, it's only got power. So we've got that. I've got our electrolytic capacitor here. Let's see if we can figure out where it goes. So that's going to go in there. And the short leg to the dark side. So you can see I'm mounting the negative to the right and the positive to the left. And because that's going to go under the chip, I'm going to bend it over like that. Otherwise it's going to stick up too far. And then there's a ceramic capacitor sitting next to it. I'm going to poke it in from the top. Now what I'm going to do, to be slightly different than what we did last time, is I'm going to going to very badly. Let me just bend these legs on the back. I'm going to place that there like that, and I'm actually going to solder them from the top, just to show you how to do that, because you can. Sometimes when you're repairing something, it's obviously a lot easier to get to the top sometimes if it's mounted in a enclosure or something like that. And it's a perfectly valid way to repair something. Don't feel you have to go nuts and strip something down. At the end of the job, you want it repaired. No one's going to go and look at it. As long as it works, that's fine. A lot of things you repair, you're never going to be repaired again, ever again, in its entire life. So I wouldn't worry about it. See? And it actually comes out pretty neat. That's absolutely fine. Legit. That's what that is. Legit. So we'll get our speaker in now. And the speaker has a little transistor underneath it. And that's giving it its powers. All of its powers. And they're going to pop in underneath there. Q1. It's an 8550, just ever so standard. If it's ever so standard, a transistor you can blow. Oh, we could solder these from the top too, just to prove the point. But I'm not going to, because we've got that speaker to deal with. So if you've got a scenario like this, what you can do, if you don't want stuff falling out, just bend the legs like that, so that resistor's not going to go anywhere. And the transistor's probably okay, but we've got that speaker in there, which is these two. And you can see my hands are full now. I'm holding the PCB. So what I like to do then is I'll draw a blob on the end of the soldering iron, and I'll touch it off one leg, like that. And that lets me let go of the board, gives me two hands free. Then I will attack the other leg, and then come back to that first one once the second leg's hardened, so it won't escape. And that transistor was jiggling around, so I'm just going to turn it on its side, push it with my finger, make sure that's nice and home, which it is. It's absolutely fine. And then we'll just touch up all the other pads. This is a quick build, isn't it? So I'm going to put the links to this kit down below. There is a special offer, I believe, or at least at the time of this video going out, of a discount. I think it's 10%. But please check the links down below if you're interested in this specific kit and you want that discount. I think the code, I think it's an Amazon code, is DRA. Dr. A, eh? That's my first actual Amazon code that someone's made with my back office name. Right, so there's an 8x8 switch. We'll pop that in like that. That's going to be a reset. That's my gut feeling is telling me. I'm just going to see if we can put the direction switches in, the D-pad. Right, now I should have started the timer, shouldn't I? I think we got 10 minutes in. We're about 10 minutes in on this video. I wonder how long it will take you to make this. If you make one of these, let me know down below how long it took. I think you could do it in 15 minutes. That's my gut feeling. And oh no, I bent a leg. See, that's going to take away from your speed if you do something like bending a leg. I'm out of contention now. I fell. I'm falling at the Grand National. I'm on the hurdle, and the guy's coming over with the shotgun to put me out of my misery so I don't go lame. Oh, has he done it again? Almost. He's almost done it again. Get in there. Get in there. Ho ho ho. Right, let's flip this over ever so gently. If it's ever so gentle. There's Bovril in my dome. Right, I'm going to... Uh-oh. I can see that the legs of one of the switches has fallen out on that one. I'm just going to touch up then 1 foot per switch. We do not want to solder all 4 legs on a tack switch only to have it not where we want it. Yep, one fell out totally. One fell out of the cuckoo's nest. That's in, that's in. Just checking them all. They all look flat. Pop it down gently. Pop it down very gently. Danny Dyer's naughtiest circuits. Okay, we've got that going. That's our reset switch. All 6 pins of it. A lot of pins. Only 2 connected. But it's there if you need it. It's reassuring to have the extra capacity on your pins. I wonder what you'd need all 6 pins for in a circuit. Maybe you could have a reset switch reset more than one thing. Okay, that's everything. So I think that's everything apart from the screens and of course these button caps. I mean, we could pop these on. I don't think they're necessary in the testing, but oh, they're rather nice though. I wonder if you can buy these separately, because you could 3D print yourself. Ooh, some nice enclosures, I think, if you don't have the laser cutter. I might have put this, I said not a reset switch by the way, it's a power switch, and I have put it on a bit wonk. So here's a good opportunity for us to see how would you unwonk it. Also, it looks like, oh no, it does fit. I was going to say it looks like this switch doesn't fit because they've made it rubbish, but it does fit. So I'm the rubbish one. So I'm just seeing if I can do this by heating these and applying pressure. Not the most sound way of doing this, but it might work. It didn't work, and I snapped off one of those feet. Right, let's get our main IC in. So there's our main IC, and I'm just going to push that ceramic capacitor very gently over so we get it out of the way. Let's put this chip in. Let's get this show on the road. There we go. It's looking fine, isn't it? So we're going to need it special custom wire because you're never going to have one of these. If you've got one of these, please comment down below with saying I've got one of these, because I cannot believe anyone in this world has this wire because it's such a weird custom thing. Let's zoom out. Now we don't have a screen, remember. Okay, well I can hear it and it's making noises, so that's a good sign. Just popped it off while I put these on. I'm having a little alignment issue. There we go. Oh, I'm almost certain that's correct. At least some of them lit up. This would be quite nice. I was thinking yesterday, I kind of would like one of those LED based moving displays, but if you type LED display into your Google or anything, it just comes up with a LED screen. You know, as in regular screens, like a laptop screen. Oh no! Look at that, that's bent that. Gosh. Oh! What? Who? What? Where? Look at this. This pin is actually different. One of these pins is not like the other. Where everything's in a line, this pin definitely is not in alignment. So I think that's why we're having some trouble with that one. Let's try again, shall we? Okay. That's like a manufacturing out of alignment. I wonder if that's how they key these. Didn't notice it on the other side. Alright, so that's them both in. Let's turn our light off. Okay. Well, I feel that we're kind of seeing something on the display. Is that enough for us to feel confident that we've done the display right? Okay, let's do one more experiment. I'm going to leave the light off because we're not going to be here long. And I'm just going to flip one around. Oh, okay. I mean, that was interesting. It doesn't look to me this way that it wants to fit, but I'm pretty sure it will. Let's give it another little wiggle. Let's give you some light. Must be hard on the old camera to focus when it can't see. So you'll be fighting this at home. I've seen big displays that use these, like loads of these little panels. What a nightmare it must be to fit them. Oh. Well, it's certainly a lot brighter that way. I don't know. I think that that's bad news. I think it's got to be this way. I'm going to fit it this way, and hopefully it's right because I'm going to actually solder it this time. Now, I could look at the website of this company, but I feel that you'd be doing the same as me on Christmas morning. If you received this as a kit, you would just be going for it, wouldn't you? Reckless. That's what you are. Reckless. Come on now. Come on. Just got to twist that last little leg in. Yay. So, scrunch it in. It's about as scrunched as you can get. And we're going to hit those with the old soldering iron. No going back now. I wonder if I've got any spares of these LCD modules, or LED modules rather. So these displays, you normally get common anode and common cathode and all sorts of configurations, so you have to be a little bit careful. There we go. And I believe these are being pulsed because they're direct drive from here. There's no resistors. So the moment of truth, either we've cocked it up royally or it will just work. Yeah, that looks better. Much better. Number 1. Oh, it's got different games on it. So that's TETRIS. Maybe a worm game. Maybe a driving game. A shooting game. We've seen this before. Is this volume? No, that's sound. What's that one? Brightness, maybe. Let's see. I feel that's brightness. I might be wrong, all right. And that one's sound, so I think we can leave that off. Let's go back to game 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bit of TETRIS. Yeah, that's TETRIS, that's fine. Now something I noticed with this kit, it doesn't have a battery, so there's no battery module there. There's your lines in the corner, by the way. One line, we're scoring good. I think you just knock it off and on to reset it every time, and you get that lovely, lovely sound. Oh my gosh, that's Snake, by the way. I feel that there's supposed to be music here. Yes. Okay, enough of that. I think I was already. You could see I was kicking ass there. 2, 3. 3 is going to be the driving game. So the button is to accelerate. Yeah, look at that. You get the idea. Basically, Need for Speed. That's good stuff. I'm not sure that buzzer's doing it justice. And then the shooting game. Oh, I love that. Look how bright that is. It's like Defender. Boom. Good. Right. I think that's enough for the test. So the next stage of this, of course, is to build the enclosure. Now, there's two ways of doing this. The proper way and the way I'm going to do it. The proper way is to take all the paper off so you have a lovely clear enclosure. And I don't want to do that. Oh, but I guess I'm going to have to, at least on some of it, because of the screen. Let's just get on with it then. Muggins will get on with it. In fact, let's do the back side. We'll peel the last side off because it's kind of a grease magnet, isn't it? You get all the fingerprints. It's best to leave it off right to the end, really. Now, it's a necessary evil, I'm afraid, when you have anything laser cut to have this paper on it. But you can see there. Convincing. So there are some standoff holes. We're going to have to fit those. Let's go. Let's go, Mr. Driver. Pop that through there, and I think that's going to go into the standoff there, standoff there, standoff there. This is me not following any kind of instructions. We don't need your instructions. Now, I got quite a lot of these. I'm not sure I'm keen on keeping them, to be honest with you, so I might do a little contest. So keep an eye on the Discord. We might do a little giveaway, handhelds giveaway, because I've got so many handheldses. If you remember, we have this one. We've got another couple of them. We've got the ES Play Micro, and look, I've 3D printed a new case for it. There's a lot going on here, and I don't really have time to play all the games, so I could vicariously play them through you by letting you have a go, and then telling me how rewarding or otherwise it was for you. I see 4 screws, 4 standoffs, but only 3 holes. Have I done a mistake? I don't think so. Well, I suspect looking at it I have done a mistake, but we don't know what that is yet, but we'll just keep going. So let's get that on there. I suppose if you left the brown paper on it, because if sometimes you don't really that bothered about it being clear or not, you could potentially colour it in with felt tip pens. Make sure that's the right way, by the way, with the hole for your USB. And you could put a design on it, or you could maybe even put some wallpaper on it, couldn't you? Or Christmas wrapping paper, and give it a festive feel. Let's get that in there. Now, hopefully that works. It feels a bit loose because the screw tips, the machine screw tips, are hitting each other. They're meeting in the middle and hitting each other, but that's probably okay, as I said. Yeah, oh, okay, that's not good. If you get it a bit wrong, it's obviously compliant. It let you do that. That's absolutely fine. Oh, okay. That's all right, isn't it? And I feel obligated to taking the last bit off here. Oh no! Don't make it into shards of messiness. Must try harder. You can see how cautious I am here. Now, fortunately, because it is only 3 screws, it's really easy to get in there and take all this other brown paper off later, if you're really that way inclined to do so. Getting this last piece off. There we go. I'm quite pleased with that. It looks okay, don't you think? Let's make sure it works again. Oh. And it does, and it sounds absolutely wonderful. That's music to my earballs. Thank you for watching. No!